First of all, please join our Fantasy Folklore Discord, first link in the description. What if Anakin Skywalker killed Darth Sidious? We'll start off this when Anakin goes to tell Palpatine that Obi-Wan has engaged General Grievous in combat. Palpatine has been manipulating Anakin against the Jedi Council, whom he already has distrust with. He placed them on the council knowing they wouldn't make him a master, the title he wanted most and thought he deserved. He also was planting dreams of Padme dying in childbirth to make him seek out the dark side. This isn't stated in canon, but it's what I truly believe. Anakin walks up to Palpatine and grudgingly tells him about Obi-Wan. Palpatine does his whole speech about how the Jedi don't appreciate Anakin and his talents, about how they are afraid of him because they cannot control him. Palpatine offers to help him understand the subtleties of the Force and tells Anakin he knows the nature of the dark side. He goes to tell Anakin that if he wants to achieve ultimate power and save his wife, he must join him and learn the dark side. Anakin ignites his lightsaber and accuses Palpatine of being a Sith Lord. Palpatine thinks that Anakin won't strike at him because he needs him to help save Padme, but he is wrong. Anakin is going to take off Palpatine's right arm with his blade, who only just reacts in time by igniting his own lightsaber and parrying the strike. He spins the strike off, which pushes Anakin back a few meters, and he stares Anakin down. Anakin is looking at Palpatine in anger. He feels betrayed. Palpatine knows that he has to get in the zone and has to fast. Whether or not the prophecy of the Chosen One is true is irrelevant to him. There is a slight chance that it is, and Palpatine knows that if it is, it will come true in this very moment. He has a fight on his hands. He fuels himself with his anger and hate, his eyes flickering yellow until it is sustained. The two stand off across from each other. Only the hum of their lightsabers can be heard. Palpatine takes a defensive stance because he knows that Anakin will attack first. Anakin uses the Force to propel his leap forward and clashes with Sidious. The two send blows back and forth at tremendous velocities. Two of the most powerful Force users are engaging in combat. This is sensed by the members of the Jedi Council on Coruscant, who make their way towards Anakin. The fight continues. Anakin knows that they're very even in terms of lightsaber combat and is waiting for Sidious's Force lightning. He won't make the same mistake that he did with Dooku. Anakin Force pushes Sidious back a few meters, less than he was intending. Sidious puts his head down to make it seem like he's confused, but he did this to trick Anakin. With his left hand, he sends lightning scorching from his fingertips and catches Anakin off guard. Anakin writhes in pain as he is sent flying across Sidious's office. Sidious slowly walks to him and uses this time to open a comlink on his wrist to Mas Amida and tell him that he knows what to do. For a second, Mas Amida looks upon the yellow eyes of Sidious and he nods in agreement. Preparatory measures are being made. Anakin gets up and Sidious sends more lightning at him, but Anakin parries it with his blade. The two stand there for a second, now breathing heavily. This time Sidious makes a lunge towards Anakin, who steps to the side, blocks and holds Sidious's lightsaber in position, and sends his right leg crashing into Sidious's ribcage. Sidious bends down to his left in pain, and as he does this, Anakin sends his right shoulder crashing into the nose of Sidious, breaking it. To finish the sequence, he kicks Palpatine square in the chest, forcing him back into the wall. Anakin knows he needs to use his youth to assist him in taking down Sidious by weakening his physical body. Blood is oozing from Sidious's nose as he spits out the blood that has entered his mouth. Anakin walks forward to Sidious and loads up on a big strike. Sidious moves out of the way and the two engage in a sequence of flurries. Sidious jabs at Anakin's face with his blade, but Anakin grabs his wrist and with his left pulls Sidious's whole body towards him, jams his knee into his stomach. Using the residual force of the strike, he pulls Sidious's blade out of his hand and throws it across the room. Anakin extinguishes his blade and starts laying into Sidious with his fists. He pulls him up with the Force and sends him flying across the back wall. Anakin walks up to him, ignites his blade and sends it plummeting through his chest, ending the Sith Lord. Anakin stands over his body and breathes heavily. He looks to his left to see Mace Windu, Kit Fisto and two other Jedi Masters rush into the room. They all simultaneously look down at Palpatine, dead on the floor. Mace angrily gets in Anakin's face and asks him what he has done. Anakin explains to them how Palpatine revealed himself as a Sith Lord to him and asked him to join him. Mace's expression doesn't change and he isn't easily convinced. Anakin tells them to look at Palpatine's body, who was already a little disfigured from the dark side. Anakin tells them to look at his eyes, which are unmistakably the yellow eyes of a Sith. Mace reaches down to go and check a radial pulse as a wave of residual force lightning flickers onto Mace. Mace stands up in disbelief. In his mind, and the other three masters, there is no doubt that Palpatine was a Sith Lord. Mace tells Anakin that he's done well, that he's fulfilled his destiny and has brought balance to the Force. He continues to say that it's going to be difficult to explain this to the Senate, how a Jedi has murdered the Supreme Chancellor. It looks like the Jedi are trying to take over. Anakin tells them to have a look at the security recordings and release them to the public. Mace heads over to Palpatine's desk to open the officer's security recordings, but the past 15 minutes have already been deleted after already being exported. Anakin and Mace look at each other confused. Kit Fisto tells Mace and Anakin that they're going to want to see this, and passes them a tablet which shows a recording of Anakin striking his blade at Palpatine, and then the footage just cuts before Palpatine ignites his blade, not showing Sidious's red lightsaber. The clip then changes to where Anakin is punching Sidious. Force pushes him across the room and executes him with his lightsaber. The clip doesn't show Sidious's red lightsaber and shows no indication that he was a Sith Lord. Fisto tells them that it was released to the HoloNet only moments ago and already has 2 billion views. Mace looks at him and asks how this is possible. Anakin sighs and tells them that midway through their battle, Sidious opened a comlink and sent the message to one of his staff. It must have been just in case Anakin defeated him in battle. If Sidious couldn't ruin the Jedi's credibility when he was alive, then he would do it when he was dead. The clip ends with Mas Amedda calling for Anakin's arrest and that the Jedi Council be held accountable. Anakin asks Mace what to do, who tells him that they should head back to the council chambers immediately. They head back and the High Council takes an emergency meeting. Mace takes center stage and explains to the Masters what has transpired. Anakin has defeated Darth Sidious, aka Palpatine, and has ended the Sith once and for all. He is the chosen one and has fulfilled his destiny. He was wrong to doubt him. All the Masters look around at one another in shock. Mace says that not all is good, that a video of Anakin killing Sidious makes it look like he killed him in cold blood and doesn't show Sidious being a Sith Lord, and makes it seem like the Jedi are trying to take over the Republic. Anakin's arrest has been called for and the Jedi have been asked to speak in front of the Senate to explain. Kit Addy speaks first and tells the council that they should do everything not to lose the trust of the people in the Jedi. He thinks that for the time being, Anakin should be expelled from the Order in order to do this. He doesn't believe that he should be expelled, but he thinks that this will show that the Jedi are allies of the Republic, not traitors. Obi-Wan speaks up and tells them that Anakin cannot be punished for killing Darth Sidious. Anakin is their savior, and that they should stand by him. Kit Fisto agrees and adds that Anakin has not only saved the Jedi, but also the whole Republic. Yoda says that they need to present a case to the Senate that proves that Palpatine was a Sith Lord. He says they can begin with their knowledge of the Clone Wars, how they knew the Sith created the clone army for the Republic and were also behind the Separatists. Obi-Wan then says that Dooku years ago told him that the Sith were in control of the Republic, and that he must have been referring to Palpatine. Mace tells them that they need more evidence, as the council is alerted to a visitor from a temple guard, Ahsoka Tano, who desperately needs to meet with them. Mace tells the temple guard to let her enter, as in walks Ahsoka Tano with Darth Maul in captivity. Ahsoka tells them that she has captured Darth Maul, and that he knows some things that the council must be made aware of. Maul is released from his chamber, and looks around at all the Masters in the room. He's not stupid, he won't make a move. Maul hates Sidious amongst anything else in his life. He feels his purpose now is to mess up Sidious's plan and take from him what he took from Maul. Maul knows that telling the Jedi about his identity will do this. Maul tells the council that Darth Sidious is no other than Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. They all stand there and don't move a muscle. Only Ahsoka looks, who is shocked to hear the news. Maul looks at them confused. Obi-Wan notices this and tells Maul that they know and Anakin just killed him moments ago. Maul looks back shocked, eyes wide. He didn't think anyone could kill his master, and he is not convinced. Maul is showing the recording of Anakin killing Sidious, but he doesn't believe it. He tells the Jedi that Sidious is more powerful than any of them can fathom. He tells them that he cannot be dead, and that this must be part of his grand plan. But none of the Masters believe him. Mace tells him that he's dead, but that they could use his help. He tells Maul that the Senate doesn't know that he's a Sith Lord, and that they believe the Jedi are trying to take over the Republic. He tells Maul that if he believes that Sidious is still alive, then he can truly mess up his plan by telling the Senate of Darth Sidious's true identity. Maul looks around and then back at Ahsoka. He hates the idea of helping the Jedi, but he knows that Mace is right and grudgingly agrees that this is the best way to mess up Palpatine's plans. He answers with a simple nod. Mace tells them that this settles things, and the Masters make their way to the Senate building with Maul in handcuffs. They wait for Yoda and Obi-Wan to return to Coruscant before heading to the Senate meeting. They enter the chamber, and immediately there are roars of discontent and anger throughout. Mas Amedda calls for order, and the chamber quietens down. Mas Amedda calls for Anakin Skywalker to be arrested and asks for the Jedi's explanation of what has transpired. Mace takes the microphone. He explains that Palpatine was a Sith Lord, how he played and had control over both sides of the Clone War. He also explains how Dooku himself told the Jedi that the Sith were in control of the Republic. He ends to say how Anakin Skywalker has saved the Republic from the tyranny that Palpatine planned to cause. The Jedi are what they have always been, protectors of the Republic, and that's what has happened here. He only asks that the whole recording of what has transpired in the office be released, as it would show Palpatine's true identity. Roars erupt. Some senators agree and are aligned with the Jedi, and others are not and do not believe him. It's not a convincing turnout for the Jedi. Mas Amedda calls for silence once again and says that he talks for a good majority of the senators here, and that their arguments are a bunch of he said this, what if this. There is no solid proof, and that he's trying to cover for the Jedi's plot of taking over the Senate. Mace tells Mas that he thought he would say that, and that's why they have brought proof. Mas stands there and stares down Mace. Mace brings out Maul and introduces him as Darth Sidious's previous apprentice. Maul tells the Senate of Sidious's true identity of Palpatine. He elaborates the talk about how he was behind the war ever since the scuffle on Naboo all those years ago. He had control of the clone army, the droid army, and trained Count Dooku in the dark side after he was replaced. He planned to destroy the Jedi and convert the Republic into his own empire and rule without having anyone oppose him. The Senate is shocked. You hear gasps all around. No one would know better than the previous apprentice to Darth Sidious himself. Mace starts to speak, and the voices quieten down. He tells the Senate that Palpatine's party, including Mas Amedda, have conspired against the Republic and have attempted to bring it down from its core. They made the Senate more corrupt than ever. Mace begs the Senate, any of those who were previously under Palpatine's control, have nothing to fear anymore because Sidious is gone. He pleads with them to help the Jedi in arresting this traitorous party that has attempted to steal the galaxy's freedom. Cheers erupt in favor of what Mace is saying. Mas Amedda cannot believe what has happened. He and the rest of Palpatine's party dart for the exit to leave as fast as they can. Anakin goes to head after them, but Mace tells him not to do so. There's nothing they can do. The Jedi have won. That night there are celebrations all around the galaxy. The Clone War has ended with Grievous and Sidious's death. There are little skirmishes left, but the Republic cannot be oppressed anymore. Anakin goes back to his home with Padme, and they celebrate both of their victories. Anakin goes into a separate room to put his gear away, when he turns around to see the Force ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn. Anakin is momentarily surprised, but he knows why Qui-Gon is there. Qui-Gon explains to Anakin how he knew from the moment that he saw him that he was the Chosen One, and he would bring balance to the Force. He elaborates to say how he wishes he was alive to train him in what he thought was the correct way, but the Jedi tutelage has done its job. Anakin nods. He knows what Qui-Gon meant. Qui-Gon tells him that his purpose is complete, and that now it's time for him to find his new path, whatever he wants to make of it, whether it resides in the Jedi Order or not. Anakin is picking up on Qui-Gon's hints. He thanks the Master and tells him that none of this would be possible without him, as Qui-Gon disappears. The next day a council meeting takes place, and Anakin is called into the center stage. Mace Windu begins by saying that Anakin has fulfilled his purpose as the Chosen One, and has saved the galaxy. He continues to say that the council has deemed Anakin worthy of becoming a Jedi Master. Silence encompasses the room. Anakin wants to say yes, but his heart desires something else. Yoda asks Anakin if he will accept, but Anakin tells Yoda that he will not. The Masters around the room perk up in surprise. Anakin tells them how he feels he has completed his journey in the Jedi Order, and that he must find his new purpose, his new path, which is something he must do without the Jedi, by himself, with his wife. As Anakin utters the words wife, Yoda and Mace's eyes go wide. Mace stumbles over his words in disbelief, and asks Anakin if he's sure that this is what he truly wants. Anakin tells them that it is, and Mace nods in agreement. Anakin makes a glance at Obi-Wan, who is clearly not surprised, before he leaves the room. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to enter our Discord, first link in the description.